Ooh, you screw it up completely.
Yeah. Good job.
After all that work.
Yeah, ruin the whole entire thing.
That would suck.
It just topples over. There we are.
Are you from Chicago?
I am not. I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Fresno, California. But both my children were born in Chicago. We could walk to Wrigley Field from our apartment.
So somebody you made love to lives in Chicago.
No, my wife is from Toledo, Ohio, and we met in Fresno, and she used to come see my shows in Los Angeles at Second
This will all be cut out, don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. All this is dead. Yeah, we're just making chatter. But she used to come see my shows, and after a while, she's like, I can't keep driving 2.5 hours to see your shows. I like you. Do you know that? And like, oh, okay, we should do something about that.
So we have Alan, Chaz, who I called Zach for the first 2 years of knowing him, and Amy.
Like a Zach.
Well, I have a nephew named Zach, so he said Chaz, and because of the Z, my brain immediately went Zach.
It's got to be Zach.
And you would correct me, and I apologize. And now we're on record doing that.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm hanging out here at the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair, as I have been, with the tripod, making it look like we're sort of villains from Batman. We're on a Dutch angle here because I hate this tripod. And you guys know because I've talked about it a lot. Anyway, but I'm sitting here with Alan, Chaz, and Amy of the Clergy.
You were going to say clerical errors.
No, I wasn't. I might have. But I paused to make sure I got it right. The Clergy of Errors.
Yes.
Yes.
And who and what are you guys? Who are you guys?
Yeah.
What's the Clergy of Errors?
The Clergy of Errors. We're improv comedy troupe.
You talk to me.
Okay. Improv comedy troupe. We are exclusively at the Renaissance Fair. Currently exclusively at Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair. But we're sort of a hodgepodge of improvisers from around the town. And then we also have another one of our brothers who's down in LA as well.
You call them brothers?
Yes, our brothers. We're all brothers.
Because we were just joking about me taking up too much of your time, and Chaz, you spoke up saying, "Don't wear your costumes as you get on. You dress as monks."
Yes.
We do, yes.
Just goes right. Do you wear your just underwear underneath or
Nothing
t-shirt?
underneath. Nothing.
I normally wear like some sort of, I don't know, like compression shorts or something underneath.
You want some?
Yeah, I want something.
You don't want that dust up there.
Exactly.
No.
But this week I forgot them, and so I'm just in underwear.
Tidy whities.
No, boxer brief.
Boxer
so
brief.
it's pretty. Yeah. Boxer brief kind of guy.
It's
Little
a
connection's been made.
Yeah. There's the boxer brief guys. I don't know. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm a boxer brief guy.
Oh, are you? All right, there you go. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, so sorry.
God, we bonded over boxer briefs and you let me hanging.
So sorry.
Now, improv at the Renaissance Fair. I come from an improv background, as you guys know, but I've always thought that improv would be very difficult out here because it requires that certain level of the audience's undivided attention to get why what you're doing is entertaining, clever, funny, cool. Me with my juggling torches and look at me, I got a whip and But here being clever and being witty and basically what improv skill is works better, I think, in a theater and a club designed for it.
100%.
Yeah.
So hats off to you for deciding to try. And how long ago was the act formed?
So Clergy was formed in 2019.
Okay.
And as you said,
But there was an act before that.
Yes.
Chaz and I were with a different improv group before that since
can't say the name of it?
2012. We can't. No parchment needed.
Yeah. We were part of No Parchment Needed since 2012.
2012. So we've been doing improv at Ren Fairs for quite a long time.
No, I wasn't actually part of that one.
No.
Yeah, and so that's how we got our start. And then in 2019 we founded Clergy, and it's been so good. It's been so fun.
Now the improv, you're not doing like a Herald over there or something?
No.
Whenever I see you're doing a kind of improv game which is going to have that mass aggressive appeal.
Yeah.
You're not doing something super subtle or something super convoluted.
No, you can't do either.
So which things work best out here?
Something that high energy or movement, timed games work pretty well out here. Stuff that like pulls the audience from the walkway to come sit. So we do a magical at the top of our shows, because singing always draws people in.
And it's amazing. It's amazing. It always draws people in.
Yeah.
We'll double our audience just by singing.
Just by
A
singing.
little improv song.
Yeah. It's so
And
wild.
And making weird phrases.
Yeah, and we definitely do bar prov, which is
Bar prov.
Yeah.
It's got to get their attention. It's got to be fast. There's not room to really explore characters or suss out a
it's real
story.
quick.
It's boom, boom, boom.
Is there
boom,
any
boom.
story-based sketches in the show? Are there? It's a terrible English.
In the middle, so we always start with the madrigal, we end with a back of the line game, but then in the middle we'll try and have a couple different like scenes
Yeah.
that we'll do, and so but once again those scenes, the beginning, middle, and end is a wink more than anything.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I've seen you, and you're great, by the way. I think you're really, really great what you're doing.
Thank you.
When I've seen you, you tend. I mean this as a compliment, and it may not come out as that.
Sure. Yeah.
You are being loosey goosey with it. You certainly aren't staying in character all the time. You're joking upon your own performance, which is kind of an improv. That's why I thought it's kind of like an improv crutch. I've done it. Everybody in the improv world will enter through a door, then another character enters, and the doorknob's on the wrong side.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I guess you
through a
moved that
table.
door. You didn't need to do that. That didn't need to happen, but you did it, and it got a little
Often than
laughy
not,
laugh.
we call attention to it very blatantly. Like,
Well, and one of the things that I found specifically about the Renaissance Fair is that because our audience is outdoors and they can leave whenever they want.
Yeah.
The
Right.
moment they're out, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're off to go buy the next, like jelly bean that's flavored like mead or something. And so
Has he walked out? Does he know what they sell here? Does he aware?
I don't think he's ever been.
He thinks he's at Universal Studios
He's usually
right now.
getting phone numbers.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
a lot of that.
He thinks he's at Harry Potter World.
he does. Yeah,
They probably do have
He's
that.
shopping, but it's not the same.
he's been drinking those potion bottles. He's not leaving the caps on.
No, but
hey,
it's
the
just
comedy only starts somewhere. You know?
people will leave.
Yeah, people will leave.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like that having a really heavy fourth wall kind of like excludes the audience
Yeah.
sometimes. And so there is this constant like checking in with the audience and being like, you still here? You still here? Hey, we're still with you.
Right.
And so keeping that audience eye is so crucial.
Yeah.
And that's what I think keeps people, butts in
It
seats.
seems a couple times I haven't been able to see it. I think we're concurrent to each other a
Yeah.
lot, and I don't venture out for the bean that is flavored like mead.
Yeah. This is a sound check. It's got to be a sound check.
Now we got Queen playing in the background. I've always noticed whenever I do check you guys out, by the time I arrive there, you've made fast friends with that audience.
Yes.
And they are willing to go with you wherever,
Yeah.
and all your silliness and what have you. Like I saw you do the very complex game. You saw me there, I think, last week. The one where you do each other's voices. I can't. it's
three-way
bit-
dub.
It's
Yeah.
dubbing, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it always gets confused. Every time I've ever played that game,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
almost an impossible game to make work. And I was like, I can't believe they chose this game.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know, well, why don't you explain it?
Yeah, so with the three of us, I would be speaking for Chaz, and he would be mouthing along, and then Chaz would be speaking for Alan, he'd be mouthing along, and Alan would be speaking for me. And we're all doing a scene, and we have to remember when to move our mouths and when to stop moving our mouths.
And it's a hard scene to play. Whenever I did it in comedy sports, as my background mostly and stuff, I've always, when I would direct it a few times, it's like the audience automatically goes to where the sound's coming out of.
It's yeah.
The actors shouldn't. The actors should know. You guys got a little confused, but of course that made it fun because by that time the audience was your friend. And I never liked that scene. I preferred it when it was like those two guys will go up, they'll do a scene, and you dub him and I dub, and we sit down,
exactly, from the
and then
heart,
maybe it throws the two. Remember that time when we met your brother and sister, and then you shoot, and then we become those two, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Keep it clean that way.
Yeah.
But they were so much on your side that you could have done no wrong. You could have.
Really.
You could have killed one of each other on stage.
Which we've done.
That's why there's only three of you.
That's
now.
why there's only three. Yeah. We used to be a real big clergy.
What do you think? What's the hardest thing about what you're doing? I mean, you kind of already alluded
being on
to it.
time is
Being on time.
that's often a problem.
Who's not showing up on time?
Us. But no, I actually, it's funny because the moment that we all three get on stage, I feel like they're ready. Like the audience is ready and we're ready, and that. You're right. There is nothing we can do wrong because even my wife said it best when I told her that I was going to do improv at
Living somewhere in the Midwest in some random city, not Chicago.
not Chicago. My wife, when I told her I was going to do improv at the Ren Fair, and she's like, Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons people would probably like improv.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. And she's right. They're ready. You know, it's not. Nobody dragged their husband to this audience. Now he's gonna like scowl because you're gonna do this improv show. You know,
Is your show described in the program as such, improv?
Yeah.
It's described as improv.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have a program here, do we? Like, it's just the
online.
website.
Yeah,
Right.
just that one. Yeah.
And then we walk. I mean, even when we're walking around, we're barking. When we're barking, we're telling the people.
We're saying we're doing improv.
Yeah,
We
and I'm
take
doing.
suggestions.
I'm
we make it
walking
up.
around doing the Bill Murray thing from that movie with Gina Davis when he's a clown outside a strip club, and he's telling people who's welcome. So I walk up and down like ogres, welcome at the improv show, or fairy folk.
Are you finding that your audience now, since 2019, so then pandemic,
Yeah.
so it was your fault,
Yeah.
Damn it.
and you're selling merch and stuff, are you seeing people coming back with your merch on, pins
Yes.
and whatnot? So you're starting to find your people.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's been really great. I mean, that's definitely, I think, why our audiences like are in on it with us so much more this year, especially, is that they've seen us in years previous, and this year we got pins, and so they always see people wearing the pins. But they also are just like, they don't care what we do. They think we as people are funny. So then when we kind of like break out of a scene and like Chaz will mention like Amy, the actual Amy, not the actor, right? You know, they love those moments, and they really.
And now because of it's easier for me. And most acts out here, I'm gonna do some bullwhips. I'm gonna do this. I call myself a comedy show, but they know that I have this structure. Since your structure is, let's be honest, improv is a harder thing to explain to a completely cold audience. Now, granted, 70% of the people out here know what you mean when you say that. Would you say, or 50?
I'd say closer to 70.
Yeah, I'd say it's a knowledgeable audience.
Yeah. But it's getting bigger every year, and now that you're doing it every year, like, we gotta go see Clergy of Errors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and this year I've been hearing more and more people saying that's one of our bucket list things for this year. We gotta see it at least twice, and like,
wow,
it's so touching. It really is like really heartwarming that we're getting this little
Especially because
community.
we've definitely been just walking and hearing people talking about us, but not realizing we're like behind them.
Yeah, your costumes you can blend in. You blend in at a Renaissance fair very easily.
Yeah.
I took the family, my wife and I took the family to Great Wolf Lodge in January, and we were walking around, and somebody came up and said, "Are you part of the Clergy of Errors?" And I was just like, that is not what I expected. Yes, I am. They're like,
one of the lodges up here.
No, it's the Great Wolf Lodge.
But in this market,
in this
in this part of the
world. Centralia, Washington.
It's for those who don't know, it's an indoor water park. Lots of inappropriate tattoos walking around.
But a few hours outside of this area.
Yeah, but this lady was like, we go see you guys every time, and she lived in Tacoma, so they were going from Tacoma.
Are all your shows in the pub?
No.
Oh, that's good, because as people probably do or don't know, I've talked about it quite a bit. The pubs here are cordoned off, and when you're doing your pub show, which brings me to my next question: when you're doing your show on a stage where kids can come, do you change things?
100%.
Yeah.
Because the show I saw, you were dropping F-bombs left.
Left and right.
The bar is a different.
The bar is the bar stage. The all ages stage is about a PG-13 stage.
Okay.
So
Which do you enjoy more?
the bar.
The bar.
Okay.
The bar stage.
But we had one yesterday when we were up there was kids in the audience, and we were doing that Warner Brothers cartoon type, only the adults are going to get these references thing.
Yeah.
That was a good show yesterday.
Playing sort of above and below. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of the audiences think like just because we can be dirty, it seems like it's a fun show, but it's really not. It's the fact that because our audience at the bar likes us to be dirtier, they just anything's funny,
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's just so much more
And
like
they're drunk.
and they're drunk,
Yeah.
oh totally, and they're drunk, right pitched, and there's just so much more of that like kind of camaraderie about it.
Yeah.
And with the family show, I do feel like there are some parents who are like, all right, prove it, or like, what's this going to be?
Because it's
Do I
easy
need-
in improv to go to that crutch. When you're allowed to
Yeah.
to
Go
get
blue,
R-rated,
yeah.
and I've been in environments where, because of course doing a comedy sports show, we were encouraged never to do that, but occasionally we'd have a corporate gig or something where it was like, it's okay here, and I would watch the other actors get a laugh with a very dirty joke or an F-bomb or something, then I saw the other actor do it, and then suddenly you realize, oh, they're all just working toward the next time they get to do that, which is not healthy.
Which comedy sports were you part of?
I was part of Washington, D.C., then I owned Orlando, then I went back and directed Washington.
Wow.
And I started Emmett's Boys in Washington, and
That's amazing.
did a little work with improvised Shakespeare in L.A. at I.O.
I was at iOS as well.
Yep, that teeny tiny stage.
Yeah, with that great bar.
Great bar.
That bar was.
Maybe they should have made the bar smaller. And the
You don't
seating
know.
bigger.
You would go out there and get a $2 PBR, and you never know who was going to be in that bar at that time.
Yeah,
You know.
it was kind of cool.
Usually
Speaking of
Brian
which, what
Posen
are
right in the middle
so
of it.
your background? You did I.O. out in L.A.
Yeah, I did the Second City Conservatory in LA, the Second City Musical Improv Conservatory, and the iOS program. And we moved to Chicago, and I did the comedy.
you were in
sports
Chicago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was there for 8 years.
Oh.
My kids were born there. So I did the comedy sports program, the annoyance program, and then I directed a lot of troops. I also did the teen improv comedy festival for 4 years.
What about you, Chad? He was just going to keep going.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
done
it's
a lot.
nonstop.
I know, you
Still
should have
going.
ended with him, man. He's
ahead.
a big hammer. I've been with Unexpected Productions at Pike Place Market.
That's up here.
That's up here, yes.
Okay.
And I've started training with them in 2005 and an ensemble member since 2009.
Cool.
And-
Now I'm gonna drill down on something you just said. It's nothing to do with improv. Now, is it Pike Place Market or Pike's Possessive?
Hike.
No
Pike.
possessive.
Because you just said it possessive, I think. We can roll back the tape.
We probably could.
Pike Place.
I think I say Pike's Place.
It's
sometimes,
Pike
too,
Place
but it
Market.
is
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
Pike
possessive.
Place, yeah,
How
probably.
about you, Amy?
Yeah, Pike is a
How
street.
do you say Pike's Place Market? No. What's
Pike
your
is a
improv?
street.
What's your improv?
Yeah, so I have a BFA in theater. I did a lot of improv in high school and in college. Most of my classes had improv elements. And then started working improv at the Ren Fair in 2012 and kind of never looked back. And my kind of big outlet is music teaching, and I do a lot of improvisation with that because it's with small children, and you
Now,
really
what
change things
is?
up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to overspeak you. What do you think? Because I have a thought. And I want to hear your thought. What do you think is the most misunderstood or overly applied improv rule? I'm putting quotes around that.
Sure. Yeah.
That you'll find people in this industry will not use. They'll mention it to you. Anybody, whoever wants to go first.
Interesting. So you specified at the end a rule that they'll say but they won't use.
You know
Or
what?
just-
Interpret how you want.
Okay, cool.
Because there's improv. We all know that improv
Yeah,
101, and we've all moved beyond that, the four
Yeah,
people at this
yeah.
table. But in improv 101, you're taught a certain basic things, and there's one or two things that people in this industry, and I'm
Yeah.
not trying to cast too many aspersions here,
Yeah.
will either misunderstand, misuse, or use as a note or criticism against you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take two real quick, and I'm going to say the first one is that you have to be funny.
Yeah.
God, I'm so exhausted
Yeah.
on that.
There's
right?
no need
It's-
to be funny.
It's just improvised theater, and everything else is a byproduct.
Right.
There's that, and then
You guys have really tripled down on that on stage.
Well, we're definitely
100%.
not funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
100% not
Yeah.
funny at all.
Love being the straight man.
And what's the other one?
The other one is
We're all
just
straight
yes
men.
and. Yes and. It's so
Yeah,
exhausting.
I was gonna say yes and.
And the idea, I took a workshop from Keith Johnstone, and he just goes,
Hang on, Chaz just dropped a name.
yeah.
Everyone take a shot, you know?
Yeah, I took a workshop,
There's a good workshop occasion.
and
I'm on Viola Spolin's Christmas card list.
Jesus Christ. Is it this thick in the mail when you get it? It's really hard to read.
and he just goes, yes and so dumb. He goes, say no in scenes.
Yeah.
Say no in scenes.
I'm
say
glad you
no
brought
in
that up
real
because
life.
here's my point. The reason, and that's where I was kind of pitching
Yeah,
you out
yeah,
to say that
yeah.
because
Yeah.
people will say, always say yes and accept everything. It's like, no, you misunderstand what yes and means. And I would tell in my beginning classes, it's like it doesn't mean you always say yes. It means that you at least acknowledge the reality the other actor brings to the force.
Yeah.
You don't walk in as the doctor and say, so you're the mechanic. No, I just established I'm the fucking doctor.
Yeah.
And the example I would give was, and just real quick, this is me talking too much here, is like, I used to like to, like somebody's in a scene and they're like going through something and there's always that physicality. You don't even know what it is yet. You're waiting for another actor to stand. I'm folding a shirt right now. And then like say Chaz goes in and if he were to say, what are you doing? Which they always say no questions.
Yeah.
But if he says it with that inflection, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Then it's, then you caught me and there's drama there. So,
Yeah.
and then if I responded nothing, I just said no. But still, what are you doing? And nothing just then established a lot of drama.
Yeah, because there's more.
And both
to it.
rules got broken.
Yeah.
That line doesn't end because you stopped saying it. You said, "I'm not doing anything."
Right.
Well, immediately I'm like, what's he really saying? What's really going on? What do
I
I
acted
feel?
suspicious.
What do I feel about that?
Well,
Yeah.
You
and,
know.
I mean, that simple interaction is so much, like, builds so much in the audience because you've got the parents who are like, my kid does that every time.
Yeah.
Or you've got someone who's like, my cheating ex would do that to me
Yeah.
all the time. Like, people are, like, the audience is filling in all of our blanks.
Right.
So we just have to give them, like, a great structure that is holding this so that they're telling
So I
the
hope
story
you're hearing that out
to
there.
themselves.
Amateur improv people, stop screaming about yes and no questions. If in
Yeah.
the right hands, it's a great guiding thing to begin, but in the right hands, it's a bullshit rule.
It's
Guys,
total bullshit.
I'm going to put this down here in my hand. This is so I tell myself in editing, if you have bona fides or things people can find you online, because it's going to be a graphic right there right
Okay.
now.
Oh, yes.
What would that be?
We are on Instagram and Facebook at Clergy of Errors.
Clergy of Errors. And you said this is the only Renaissance fair you do. Are you going to do anything else this season?
We actually just got invited to do a show at the second stage. They were like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, they were like, why don't you guys come do this at our stage?
Second stage where? What is that?
That's in Redmond.
Redmond.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
So if you're in Redmond, but they can't see anywhere at the Ren Fair business.
Probably
So far,
not.
we are
Not at the
only
moment.
at this run fair.
Yeah.
So they're guys, an exclusive Ren Fair act.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
gonna call it exclusive.
You got to come up to the
You can put that
PNW.
at the bottom.
Put that right
I
there.
mean, you can try to hire us. We'll come in costume.
Yeah.
On the footer.
So we could have gone on probably for another hour, but we both have to get in costumes. Mine's hard to get on. They're gonna put theirs on in 20 seconds.
At least.
Chaz will only be wearing his boxer briefs.
Yeah.
This is again Amy, Chaz, and Alan of Clergy of Errors.
Now,
That could be an
I'm
improv.
going to say Cleric of Errors all day.
Look down the thing on the right, guys, and wave goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, Chaz, whenever you want. Good. Get this stuff.